Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading, and this is for the new moon on August 12th. And Leo, you are the star of this astrological insight. The new moon is actually in your sign, Leo. So let's see what's going on with this one. This is a general or collective reading. So this means that it's a general reading for anyone who wants to watch it. And my collective, I consider the people who subscribe to my channel. So you might get a little more specific information from that collective energy if you're subscribed. And I will begin with the Hierophant here. So this is the underlying energy for this reading. The Hierophant is bringing justice in from the spiritual realm. Justice comes from the spiritual realm down to the physical, and that's what this energy is talking about. The Hierophant has his right hand in the form of a blessing, saying that basically if you're on the right side of the law, spiritual and physical, that this will be a blessing coming in for you. And if you're on the wrong side of the law, well, your actions are catching up with you. And this is talking about, if you're a religious person, the traditional structures of your church, your religion, the people that are in charge at the top. So that would talk about popes, cardinals, bishops, gurus, rabbis, whoever's in, at the top in your church, that and religion, bringing that energy down into the spiritual and then into the physical. And if you're more a spiritual person and you like to go straight to source without the intermediary, this would be about prayer and meditation, that type of energy moving down into the traditional structures of the legal systems around the world. So the court systems that bring justice in, or are supposed to anyway. We'll see how it goes. Now we have the Three of Pentacles here. The Three of Pentacles is saying you're in a very elevated position. Pentacle energy is about your lifestyle. It's talking about health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. It is represented by the coin with the pentacle inside of it. Money, of course, is a very big part of being able to be, doing well in the 3D. But you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want without health or love in your life. And so this is talking about, in this particular card, the Three of Pentacles is talking about being in an elevated position. You've mastered a skill set and people are noticing. So this is about people wanting to collaborate with you. They've heard about your good work and they're approaching you here. They have plans in their hand and they are shining a spotlight on your work. Now, in this case, it's a stonemason. And the energy here is talking about, you may have received your degree, your papers, whatever. But quite often it is talking about the entertainment industry. Like someone, anyone can sing, but can you sing well enough for people to want to pay a lot of money and come, listen to you from around the world? And it's talking about, so it can be talking about actors, actresses, the entertainment industry, musicians, bands. It could be, like producers and developers and directors wanting to to support your acting, or like maybe they want you to be a lead actor or actress in the next blockbuster in Hollywood, or the directors and producers are wanting to produce your music and put you out there on tour. This can also represent like very talented athletes. So these could be scouts coming in with offers of scholarships, for their college or university, or better yet, you're already at a college or university on scholarship and now they want you to come play for their pro team. It's that sort of energy, being in an elevated position. The danger that this card is talking about here on the other side of it is to be very, very careful, because in particular in those industry, there is a lot of secret society energy. A lot of people end up signing contracts and agreements or making agreements, and then they really live to regret them. They quite often don't make the money. Other people make the money, and they are living a lifestyle that they don't want to be living. We're seeing this in the headlines all the time now, with the files coming out, and there's every day there seems to be something else that we're finding out about that was really hidden behind the scenes. And so this energy, basically this card is saying, congratulations, it's awesome that you're being noticed. Be proud of your work and hire a lawyer. If you're getting, if you're signing any contracts or agreements, you definitely want to hire a lawyer who is specializing in those types of contracts, because many a person has signed something and then lived to regret it, especially with the secret society energies that are behind the scenes driving this. And it kind of wraps into what this this full moon is about. Sorry, not this new moon, or the full moon, the new moon eclipse. And so this eclipse seasons are like a series of that, they come in series. And this eclipse season is, the moon is in Leo, and it's opposed by the energy of Aquarius. Aquarius is across the scale on the zodiac from Leo. And basically, both Leo and Aquarius really value individualism, their individuality, and being free to express that. The Leo energy wants to be more like the leader energy, and the Aquarius, and everybody just follow me, do as I say, and sometimes not as I do. And then the Aquarius energy is talking about, wanting to more engage with people and ask people's opinions, and make it a collaborative effort, but still they want to be able to have their individuality within that. And so the last time we had this Leo Aquarius eclipse energy was August of 2016 to January of 2019. So that energy, if you think back to that time, what was going on then in your life, that could give you some sort of clarity as to what this is about now. And before that, it was in February of 2008 until August of 2009. And before that, going way back, 1998 was when, to July 2000. That is basically the energy the last time we had this Leo Aquarius eclipse season. And so this energy is basically talking about, that individualism and the group energy, which is more important, which are you going to focus more on? And so the Lover's energy is coming in, and that's definitely, the sun is shining on that, and you are ruled by the sun. This is talking about maybe a new divine partner coming in that is anointed by God, and this is talking about a couple that are meant to get together. The cloud in between them is saying that you haven't been in a relationship with this person before. It could be someone that you know from the past, but definitely not someone that you've had an intimate relationship with. And this would be like power couple energy. And then we have the Seven of Cups. And so the Seven of Cups is talking about a lot of opportunities coming in. The thing is, it's kind of like this energy of, there's this push-pull energy. And like you're like a black hole, and you're just sucking all these opportunities in, just. But the thing is, like a black hole, you are the center of your universe, and you have to put your own spin on this. And so this is talking about, the opportunities are here, but you notice they're in a cloud of smoke. So this can talk about like that smoke and mirrors energy. Like which of these cups, everyone has a gift in them, but the gifts are are possibilities that are wrapped up in challenges. So it's talking about, which one are you going to choose, and what kind of energy are you going to put into it to make it yours. And it's talking about Like the first cup here has the gift of beauty. Now, outer beauty, these days people can go and get cosmetic surgery, and there's all sorts of ways to making yourself appear more the way you want to look. But having said that, if you focus so much on your outer beauty, then you don't have that balance with your inner beauty. And no matter what you do on the outside, if your inside isn't beautiful, it's not going to shine through. And then we have the shrouded figure. And we don't know what's under that shroud. It could be good, bad, or ugly. And then we have the snake energy. So some people might look at that snake and say, I don't want that. That's a yellow-bellied coward slithering through the grass. And someone else might say, what an awesome opportunity to shed my skin and have a rebirth in energy. Let go of anything that's not worth being with me. And then we have the castle energy here. And castles are beautiful to have. At the same time, castles are very expensive and they can be quite cold, and they're on the side of cliffs and quite often. And so they can be very isolating, and due to being house poor, that type of energy, when you focus more on the home than you do on yourself. And then we have the energy of a bouquet of flowers. Like, are you going to compete with the other flowers for beauty? Are you just going to open your petals up and add your own special quality to the bouquet? And we have the laurel wreath, and that is a sign of victory. At the same time, they lay wreaths on coffins. And then we have the dragon energy. Are you afraid of dragons? Do you think that every single dragon is vicious and violent, or do you realize that some dragons may be powerful and beneficial and bring in good fortune? And so it's all in the way that you perceive your reality and how you're going to accept these or embrace these opportunities coming towards you, and or reject them because you can't see the possibility in the challenge. And so this moon is actually talking about, and this eclipse is talking about having it's a 6-month process basically, where when you have this eclipse season, and there's more than one, there's a series of the same sort of energy, and that's what we're in now. This energy is talking about, in the next 6 months, basically, if you write down what you want to accomplish, like I'd say even 5 to 10 points, it could be anything, and put it away after. It could be something as simple as getting to that closet that you've been promising yourself you would clean out. But you might be really surprised if you just put it away and then 6 months later you take a look at it, that, wow, I accomplished everything on my list. When you write things down, you give more power to it. You're more likely to do it. And when you don't obsess over it, but you've written it down and said, I'm going to do this, then you're more likely to achieve it. And this energy, this particular Leo Aquarius axis is talking about the energy. It can cause long-term changes, particularly in romance, dating, in your hobbies, sports, all of that type of energy. A lot of people that end up with scholarships for universities and colleges have been doing that sport since they were in kindergarten, kind of thing. So it's a long, it takes time to gain the skills needed to really stand out like that. Plus, you have to have that combination of that special gift for being that good at it. And then we have this kind of energy can really bring out flaws in our systems, and not just in in global systems and government systems, but also in our own lives, how we approach life. And it can really be an energy of, okay, maybe I'm just going to redo the whole thing and start over, or I'm going to let it go and just start a fresh new project. And then this can also be really wanting to stand out as an individual and express yourself. So and both, as I said, both Leo and Aquarius want that individual expression, but it's the way they do it that's different. So basically, that's the energy that we're working on and that we're in. The Page of Swords is talking about some sort of information, communication coming in. And it looks like it could be about some cutthroat energy here, because we've got that right after here. So this could be the Page of Swords is the pages would work for the king and queen, really young, 7 to 14-ish. And that may sound really young, but in those days, you know, the lifespan was half of what it is now. So it's talking about maybe this is something that goes all the way back to when you were in elementary school, high school, starting out in college, university, maybe apprenticing or some sort of energy like that. This can also talk about maybe people that you knew back then coming back into your life and you haven't seen them forever. Definitely this could be about family and that, because they, you know, at that age you would be knowing family, but it could be extended family as well. Other friends. It could be information from someone that you haven't seen for 7 years, 14 years, 21 years. And it's talking about, like, the element here is air. So the swords represent the element of air, but it's your mental intelligence and discipline of your mind, as well as one edge is logic and the other is intuition. So the Page of Swords, he's the only page of them all that's not totally focused on his element. He is looking away from it, actually, because he already knows the logical question and he's thinking outside the box. Okay, what is the creative solution to my problem? Which is the best logical solution I can come up with? That's the most creative to empower me here. And so that energy is also sometimes can be like an epiphany that you have suddenly. You could have a dream and it shows you something, or all of a sudden you're online and you see something online and you're like, oh, that's what I need to do. That's the information I was looking for. It's that type of energy. And it can also represent an investigation of some sort, like hiring a private eye, or this could be a legal or illegal investigation using technology, hidden cameras, microphones, and that kind of like spy energy, that sort of thing. So, and right following that, we have this energy of cutthroat energy coming in, and this is risk it all behavior. So someone has come at you. There's been 2 different times people have come at you and you've had to stand up and fight. This is this outer conflict coming towards you, and it's serious conflict. They're in definitely cutthroat, all or nothing energy. They want something that you have, and they are willing to risk everything to take it from you. That's the energy. But you are standing up for yourself here and saying, there's no way you're taking what's mine, not after I got the information I just got. So you may have been kind of way more forgiving and, not really that seeing the challenge of what was really, the momentum of what was really coming towards you until you receive this information, whatever that is. And so you've had to fight these 2 people, and I think they're kind of like, whoa, like they're kind of shocked that you fought that hard. They weren't expecting it. They're kind of like almost look dazed and confused. But you're standing there and you're saying, any other takers? Because I'm standing up for myself here. Now that I know what I know, I am standing up for myself. And sometimes this outer conflict, of course, can create inner conflict for sure. But when you have inner conflict, then of course that attracts outer conflict. And so the inner conflict could be within your mind, like fighting within yourself, a battle within yourself. And this sometimes can be talking about 3 different versions of you and your mind. We have the subconscious mind that is formed by the time you're 6 or 7. And really, this is not your thoughts. It's the thoughts of the people, the environment that they provided for you. You know, babies are like sponges and they soak up that energy like a sponge. And this could be about your culture, I could talk about your, like even the food you eat, your religion, how you approach life. Are your parents professional, or are they, are they physically active for physical labor, for their occupation? How do they approach money? Do you have an extended family? Are you a small family unit? Do they fight a lot? Amongst themselves? Or do you have a lot of siblings that you fight with? So it's kind of all these different things shape you, and it's heavily imprinted on you from your subconscious mind. But a lot of it you won't remember from when you were little. And so the subconscious mind is the one that pops up. Hey, do this when you're in conflict, but it's not always the most reliable. And then we have your unconscious mind, and that's when your spiritual needs. It's talking about your spiritual needs. And a lot of people will agree, yes, I'm a human being and I have a soul, but from the soul's perspective, you're a soul traveling in a human body, and this is your vehicle for navigating Earth. So if the soul's needs aren't being met, the unconscious mind will argue with the subconscious and the conscious mind. And the conscious mind, you have a handle on that. I just cleaned these 2 clock, and I see another guy in the bush over there, I'm pretty sure, and if I have to, I'll fight him too. But you're not taking from me what's mine. That's the energy that you're in here. And then we have judgment being called on the whole situation. So the judgment, the Most High has made judgment on the spiritual realm. The universe, it contracts, and then it expands and contracts. And when it contracts, everything comes back into place again. It gets a little messy when it's expanding on the outer edges there, but then everything comes back into divine order. And it's talking about it's time for this situation to, a judgment's been called, it needs to be put into order. And this is talking about, your ancestors are literally climbing out of their boxes, the trumpets blowing, the descendants and the the ancestors are cheering each other on. And so this can talk about, something that happened way back when you were younger, like I said, or even before that time, with your grandparents, great-grandparents, your parents, depending on your age. But it's definitely talking about this outer conflict that's coming towards you, causing inner conflict, is definitely something that happened in the past, and maybe as far back, it's something your ancestors weren't able to deal with before they crossed the veil, and now the descendants have to clean up the rest of the energy for the bloodline. And maybe that's what you're doing. So if you're feeling a real heavy energy here, it could be because of that. Like, it's not just you. This could be, it could be really big, or it could be something that's not that big. But it's important to the people that are involved in it, if that makes sense. So from the bottom here, we have judgment being called, and the Hierophant is bringing that down to Earth. And it could be about some unscrupulous energy is what I'm picking up from. And this sometimes can represent secret society energy. Secret society energy is not interested in individual needs at all. Secret society industry is mostly concerned with, the individuals at the top, the 1%. They are very concerned with their needs and their wants. But everything else is more about the group and adhering to the group energy. So whatever the rules and whatever rituals and whatever they're doing, this quite often is that secret society energy. And it can be really, that's why you need to get a lawyer that can read the contracts and make sure that any agreement or contract you're signing is in alignment with your your needs, or it could really end up being a messy situation for you. Like you could end up living a lifestyle that you really do not want to be living. And then we have the information coming in, and it's what this is about. And after this comes out, then all of a sudden you see all the opportunities that are open for you. And this cutthroat energy, when the Hierophant comes through with this, this could go to court. People could be have really broken the physical laws of their countries or whatever. And so this could be talking about like judicial law, court and lawyers and all of that. But also it's talking about this energy of someone coming into your life that is very powerful for you. So the Lover's card, this definitely could be someone that, you know, a divine partner that really empowers you and you empower them, or it could be someone in business that empowers you in that way. You're both on your destined paths, and it's talking about being able to rely on each other as a divine couple. It's kind of like a power couple to be able to really handle all of this energy so that it has the outcome. And, you know, if God has passed judgment on this, it's already happening. And so it's coming down from the spiritual into the physical. So if you've been in a challenging position, wanting to get something moving, this will be like a breath of fresh air for you in many ways. I feel like it's not an easy energy, but that's how all of that's how eclipses are. There's the dark and the light, right? When a solar eclipse happens, the light of the sun is blocked out for a short time. And of course, that can be, you know, very challenging for people when all of a sudden the light is gone out of their life and all they can see is dark. You can talk about falling into like depression or something really knocking you, you know, your foundation. But then you get back up again, and there's a lot of opportunities coming in for and this could be for what you love to do or be, opportunity to meet that special someone, if you're looking for that energy, or just succeed in whatever it is that you love to do or be, a business or whatever that is. I'm going to clarify with the oracle cards. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you for your time and energy, your likes, comments, and subscribes. I really, really appreciate them all. The energy is from my oracle, Tales from the Vector, and this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. The numbers on the cards represent the paintings in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. So I'll put them in the order they appear here, and then if you want to check it out later, you could do so. They say a painting paints 1,000 words. So if you're still kind of, okay, I want some more clarification, that might help. So the sun energy is, it's really good to see this energy here. This is talking about this judgment coming in, reconfirming it. And the sun is the happiest card in the deck. So it's talking about God's plan being put into place, that it's already happening, or judgment's been made in the spiritual. You can expect some sort of shift happening in your life, you know, regarding whatever is bothering you here. And then we have, and it's the happiest card in the deck. It shines its light and its happiness on the rest of the reading. We have the Cancer energy here, and this is talking about the moon energy. This card's been coming up quite a bit. The hidden illusions, secrets that are behind the moon, and needing to be able to discipline your mind so that, you know, that you can see use your intuition and your logic for creative solutions. The Cancer is ruled by the moon, so it's talking, I feel like this is it's kind of a heavy moon in some ways, this new moon, and in other ways it has a lot of opportunity to it, but it feels like it's like just the energy is heavy in general. And then we have the battle star energy here. Yeah, like it's like this battling energy, a battle from within and a battle from without, a battle here, a battle there, a battle everywhere. It's that type of energy. So this could be battling the elements and battling, you know, other people, and battling systems and battling yourself, and, you know, and it's sitting on the Lovers, having a lot of battles with lovers like this. It just feels like this energy kind of like, you know, just little like nails on the chalkboard energy. The Hermit is talking about safe travels. So the Hermit goes, when the Hermit has his foundation shaken, he goes to the top of the mountain and he climbs there to isolate himself and be in an energy of, you know, meditation and prayer, to connect with the Most High, to get the answers. Okay, what is the best action I can take now? And so it looks like you're doing that energy, and that's when things start to shift, when you start to have this discipline. So the three minds are working together and they're plugged into your authentic heart desires. You're far more likely to calm that energy down and, move out of it because it won't resonate with you on any level. And then we have the need to be right. Yeah, what really stops people or keeps people in battles sometimes is this karmic space of the need to be right, where, you're not going to be happy until everybody says you're right. And if you have to be right every time and everybody else has to be wrong, then of course that's not going to be much fun for the people that have to be wrong all the time. And of course that can cause a lot of inner and outer conflict. And it's saying, like, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? There's times where you really do need to be right, and it's important that you're right. But you don't want to be making molehills out of mountains, but you don't at the same time want to be making, oh, did I say molehills out of mountains? I meant mountains out of molehills. But at the same time, you don't want to make molehills out of mountains. If you need to be right, then be right and stand up for yourself. And then we have Sagittarius energy coming in here. So this is about that expansion and contraction that I'm talking about, how it can get really messy at times and then it comes back together again. And like this energy is talking about maybe it's been off for your family, it's down the bloodline, and it's been that way for quite some time. This is talking about wanting to get out and explore the world again, like whether that's your inner world or exploring the world in general. And it's also talking, I feel, about the energy of, individual people, like in the reading, and then also the way, like, the global situation is. And we have, like once this judgment comes in, it says you're going to be on a foolhardy journey. You can anticipate a good result. Generally, when this card comes in, you're going to have a happy outcome. So this is really good to, to know. So if you're kind of feeling, the energy generally has been a little bit heavy, but eclipse seasons like that, it's that moment when all of a sudden, the moon blocks out the sun and you can't see the light of the sun, and it's very disconcerting. And then, then all of a sudden the moon moves some more and the sun, you can see it's not permanent. It's actually something that is shifting. So I do hope this has benefited you. Thank you for your time and energy, your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. I'll have another reading coming for you soon. The next astrological reading will be the middle 10 days of August. And I'll be back with that one as well. I have my daily readings and my random shift readings. All right, bye for now, Leo.